Hey everybody, how are you doing this week? If you are playing quarantine bingo at home, I have now reached the Watch Tiger King stage of this pandemic. And so I watched the Tiger King this week, which is an exercise in itself. But one of the things that stood out to me about the whole show is that this guy, his whole life in a way was wrecked by this grudge that he held against Carol, against this other zoo person. And it was kind of incredible, but that was his on top of all the other flaws that he had, that was the thing that really just unraveled him, was this grudge, his unwillingness to let go of his hatred for this woman and forgive or let go of that. And I started thinking as I watched that about forgiveness and holding grudges and just what that does to us and how that can tear us up. And in the story in the Bible, in the book of Genesis, there's the story of Joseph. Some of you know who Joseph is, and Joseph has several brothers, and his brothers get jealous of him and they get upset and they throw him into a pit and they sold him off as a slave. And then one thing happened after another. He ends up in prison, in Pharaoh's prison, and finally he ends up because of interpreting dreams and trusting God and letting go of his grudges and his reasons for being angry at people, he was able to find himself into a place where he was the Pharaoh's right-hand man. And as a result, he was able to help save not only all of Egypt, but even his own people. Later on, there was a famine, and he was able to be a part of saving them. And his own brothers and family came seeking help. They didn't know they were going to see Joseph again. They thought he was dead. And when they encountered him, they were afraid because they thought he would want to get revenge. And he had long since let go of that grudge and let go of that hatred towards his brothers. And here's what he said to his brothers. He said, "You planned to do something bad for me, but God produced something good from it in order to save the lives of many people." That's in Genesis chapter 50, verse 20. And the reality is that, y'all, it is so easy to hold on to a grudge. It doesn't take any effort at all to hold on to a grudge, but it takes character to forgive. And it doesn't mean when we forgive somebody else, it doesn't mean that what happened or what they did was okay. It doesn't mean that we have to let that person back into our lives. Sometimes there are people in our lives who are toxic, and they can be harmful if they're in our lives. And so it doesn't mean we have to let that person necessarily back into our lives. But what we do need to do is we need to forgive. And forgiving is about us letting go of the hurt, letting go of the pain, and not letting it have power over us. Even if they don't apologize, we need to forgive them so that we don't become toxic. And so y'all, I just pray for you this week. I pray that you take some of this time that you have and you use that to connect with God and allow God to show you the places where you need to forgive and the places where you need to be forgiven. Join us this Sunday for worship at 10 a.m. on the Calumet or the Red Rock Facebook pages. Either one, we're going to have live stream worship on both pages, and I would love to see you there. Have a great week. Leave us a comment about a God moment in your life this week. Blessings. Peace.